Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by lineups.com. Nate and Josh here to close out the first half-ish of this season anyway, as we get to the All-Star break here. Last slate of games, full slate anyway, until next Thursday. We are going to be coming back with an All-Star episode for you as well, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Keep coming back as we'll be back with you guys. We got 3 games tonight. Not a lot to work with, but I mean, we know some guys are going to be sitting. It's going to be wonky. There's some ways to play this slate. So let's jump right into it, Nate, here with the Jazz and the Blazers. You like the Jazz first half, and I imagine I can understand why.
Yeah, with the Jazz, what they've done in the fourth quarter a lot of times is just pull everybody. I mean, this is a back-to-back, so they might just sit guys off top. And we know Jaren Jackson is shut down for the year. But I still think they can be competitive enough in the first half. I still think Blazers minus 8.5 is sus. I mean, the Blazers are no great shakes here, especially on the road. They're 0-4 in the last 4 on the road with the league worst 99 offensive rating. And Denny Avdia, I would be surprised if he's able to go on a back-to-back. Shaedon Sharpe, I believe, still out. In their last 10, Portland, second worst three-point defense, highest turnover rate in the league, and 28th in generating free throws, and that's with Avdia in and out. Again, if he's out, they're not generating free throws, but the turnover rate is key because that'll get the Jazz out in transition. And with those young guys around Collier, that's basically what they need. That's the lifeblood to get some offense there going early. Jazz, we've talked for a while about being a home road team, and they're 11-17 in the first half at home, which isn't fantastic, but it's negative 4.9 net compared to like negative 12 on the road. And they have in their last 6 here, they're 4-1-1 straight up, covered this number easy. You look at Portland, last 12 first halves, they're 0-12 against this number, 2-9-1 straight up. So, I mean, not to just look at game log stuff and be like, this is an incorrect number, but the Jazz have been pretty feisty. I mean, there's no guarantee that Markkanen or Nurkic are out just because it's a back-to-back. And they're allowed to, they're letting these guys play and play as hard as they can for 2.5, 3 quarters before they pull the plug. So I think this is the way to play it rather than take the entire game spread.
Yeah, I wouldn't be feeling comfortable about the whole thing. Not sure. It looks like mostly go for, I mean, Denny and Clingan and Tumani and Drew for Portland. I don't know what they're going to do either, but I do trust the Jazz with Markkanen and Nurkic playing in the first half and probably looking at the same, 22 minutes cap. And that'll come in the second half when you don't see those guys anymore. I'm still hesitant to just go bet Cody Williams over because he's low and he's sort of, it's still going to be like the same guys with the usage as far as like Collier, Markkanen, and then Bailey a little bit, and Sensabaugh before I would take anything for other guys. So yeah, there's just be careful with that one. But I think the first half is at least trustworthy enough. So looking at this spread here, or the total rather, between the Thunder and the Bucks. I know I don't know exactly who's going to be out there for the Bucks. I know Cam Thomas will be out there for the Bucks after he got 25 minutes and did Cam Thomas stuff with 20 shots yesterday in that nice win over Orlando on the second night, second game straight versus them. This one versus OKC, J-Dub back to the injury report, right? We're not sure what's going to be the timetable for his return now. It's going to be like a lot of Aaron Wiggins. We still have no AJ Mitchell, but I think there's plenty of guys that can still score for this team coming off the bench. We're still going to have plenty more. Isaiah Joe, who's actually a somewhat underrated defender, I would say, amidst the really good defense that they have. But I still think that the shooting is going to be there for them. There's not much data that I'm going to give you other than there's not many lineups that involve Chet Holmgren, Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Lou Dort, or any of those combination of those guys that still doesn't have like a 116 offensive rating. It's not what it is with Shai. Obviously, it's like 5-6 points worse when he's not on the floor. It's a big enough difference that it matters. But like J-Dub's impact on the offense, as good as he's been at times, when he's like the focal point of it, it's not like it's that much better than when he's not the focal point and it's other guys like, for instance, Aaron Wiggins, who is in line probably for a big game and big minutes based on what they're going to have out there. This got bet down from 219.5, but even if you look at the last 4 games with OKC, they only had J-Dub back for 1.5 of those. They're still up. Their totals are still up at about 223.5. So I still think this number is just too low when the Bucks are also scoring on Orlando well enough. And like I said, I think you're getting at least 25 minutes of Cam Thomas, and depending on other guys missing, he might even get up to 30.
Yeah, it's a lot of faith in the Bucks offense. I mean, could I talk you into just taking the Thunder team total at 113.5 rather than worrying about what the Bucks do?
Better.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, because you're being carried by the home team here. And the Bucks, I mean, I don't know if Cam Thomas is going to repeat that or have any sort of consistency with that against a great isolation defense. I'll take the under here out in LA. I mean, this is a spotlight game, but both Luka and Cooper Flag are not going to play in the spotlight game. So I think the Mavs offense without Flag, without Najee Marshall as well, probably going to hit the tank here. I mean, and that Lakers defense that JJ Redick has been riding them for weeks to just try to get more effort out of guys who are not great defenders. I mean, they could come to play here in this particular matchup without Cooper Flag, because like what else are the Mavs really scaring you with? They're also their recent results have kind of skewed this number. I think they had crazy pace matchups against the Spurs. Flag dropped 50 in Charlotte, right? Other than that, they've been consistently under this number last five, including a matchup with the Lakers that got to 226, despite both teams shooting 30 free throws, because Luka was in that game. Cooper Flag was in that game. In the last 10, since I mean, the Lakers are number one limiting free throws. Dallas in the last 6 is number one limiting free throws. Teams are also bottom 4 in the percentage of their points scored from the three. The Mavs can't generate threes. They just take 6.5 corner threes a game in these last 10, which is worse in the league. And that's been the Lakers' weakness. They've been limiting the above the break, giving up some corner stuff. They can get beat down low. But yeah, again, if Flag and Marshall aren't in there, there's not a lot of drivers for the Mavs that I'm really that worried about. And they've done a pretty good job getting back in transition. So I think they keep LeBron and company from getting those easy opportunities, bog this thing down a little bit, and it stays low scoring.
Yeah, I mean, 236 is still high. It can still be a decently scoring game, paced game as well, without it having to hit the over here. I like the stuff here for Austin Reaves. I do think the Lakers can at least handle business. I mean, they're still in the race here, so I know they're the guys that are out there. It's not like they're tanking despite some weird games as of late. But Austin Reaves, I mean, the points, first of all, are all the way up at like 24 and a half. I don't know if I haven't seen specific news saying he's not on a minutes limit here, but I don't think people are expecting him to get 24 and a half points in 25 minutes the way he's been playing 25 minutes. He's been at about 16 in these situations with, no Luka and everybody out there. So I think the assist is just what goes crazy without Luka, and we're still getting 5.5. It's just juiced down. I would still take 6.5. Like I'd just lean in at this point to Reeves Dimes as the key playmaker without Luka. His potential is up high enough where if he does get like 5-6 more minutes than the 25 he's been playing, then a 8 to 9 assist projection is pretty reasonable. And whatever his double is at, if it's like 3 to 1 or better, I think that's in consideration as well. And then, like I said, the Lakers here, just to handle business against a Mavs team that stays down. The offense for the Mavs, you kind of mentioned it, like definitely not something that I would be wanting to bet on either. Not sure. I don't think Caleb Martin is necessarily going. He creates so many like second chances for them. He creates so many scrappy points for them with steals. He's actually those types of players when you don't really have a coordinated offense, cohesive offense. You really need those sort of scrappy plays and second chance points and things like that. And they're not going to be there for them. So I still think the Lakers handle business in this one. And I think the assist for Reeves is going to continue to be a wagon.
Yeah, fully endorse the Lakers money line and Reeves for the PA stuff. I mean, I mentioned the Mavs haven't been able to generate threes, but they have struggled to stop the other team from generating them. So, and the Lakers with Kennard and Kleba now in that rotation, they can have some guys that you can kick the ball to and pick up those easy assists if you're AR and LeBron. Moving to props here, straight up, Donovan Clingan, 12.5 rebounds for a little bit of plus money here. And I mean, this is just kind of like a head scratcher. I know Avdia might play because they were blown out so bad last night, but he hasn't played in a back-to-back since January 3rd. Been dealing with back injury every single game on the injury report. I would be surprised. I'd say if he's a full go. We know Rob Williams is not going to go. So it's Clingan as the man in the middle here. And I mean, he had lines of 14.5 and 13.5 against Memphis last week and topped those easily, right? I mean, so now we're looking at a line of 11.5 in some spots. If you want to drink the juice, he's gone 11 straight games with at least 2 OREBs, 6.1 OREBs per game in that span at a 52% rate when he gets the opportunity. He's second in the league in rebound chances, just absolute monster on the glass. And then you look at with the Jazz, potentially sitting Nurkic and Markkanen. I mean, they might just sit in the second half or in the fourth quarter. We don't know exactly, but without Markkanen, they've allowed 6 more rebounds per game to the opposition. 48 a game is a lot. Without Nurk, their team rebounds have dropped by 10 to just 38 rebounds per game as a team. So I mean, you would be looking at Filipowski basically as the only 5-man to deal with Clingan. Maybe Kevin Love gets out there for a little bit, but it's gonna be tough to keep him off the boards. I mean, he went for 17 boards, including 5 on the offensive end against the Jazz with Nurkic out there earlier this season and Denny Avdia out there. And if Denny doesn't play his last 6 without Denny, 15.6 rebounds. Usage rate also spikes, points, assists, everything goes up because the Blazers become a lot more balanced.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it kind of segues nicely into what I'm saying. Like, I agree. It's like he played the front of the back-to-back last night with 27 minutes for Clingan. Now I expect him to be playing 32 plus minutes in this one. He could get even more. And I think Nurk is not playing that many minutes. I think we know that. I mean, there's a chance that he gets either a coach's decision, DNP, or something like that. But it could anything. There's just any range of outcomes. But one of the things that's not going to happen is Nurk playing 32 minutes tonight. That's something that I think we have a lot higher probability of being the case. So the 23.5 PRA here, this is something that if he was playing Memphis again, wouldn't touch it. Even if he was playing 24, 22 minutes, I still would be like, well, yeah, he's very capable of getting almost there in the first half. So I don't want that. But now that you do have a legit presence down low for Clingan, now it's like, all right, well, this number shouldn't be the same as what it's been when he's playing other competition that's just way less. And Portland plays really fast. So I understand the fear that like there's gonna be more opportunities, more possessions and the like. Totally with that. Doesn't really mean it's conducive for big centers, who are just battling each other down low, like sprinting down the court to sort of battle down there in a quick possession. Like I think we'll continue to see a lot of, like, if Denny plays, him trying to go to the rim in transition, et cetera. That's how Portland has been a lot better. So I just think the minutes are what they are, and with the comp what it's at, you can finally feel safe that you can bet on the lack of opportunity for Nurk.
Yeah, if you're the Jazz coaching staff, you're like, how do we make sure we lose this one here? Well, we pull the one center we have off the floor, let Donovan Clingan go to town, cleaning things up. And yeah, that could be how Nurk winds up going under, is he's just sitting down the stretch. I'm gonna go under for Kyle Kuzma as well. Like I said, I don't have any faith in the Bucks offense here in this spot. The market has pushed them to plus 14 in some spots, along with that low total. So I mean, yeah, I think the Cam Thomas eruption last night could be a bit of a fluke. Kuzma played off that pretty well, but still was horribly inefficient. 5 for 15 and 1 for 7 from deep. He's not a good corner 3 shooter, which you need against the Thunder. He's shooting 33%, which is basically last among the Bucks rotation guys here. And he's struggled against top tier defenses. Like, he had some overs against like the Bulls and the Pelicans, but prior to that, I mean, really rough lines against some really good teams, including going for 9 and 4 in 28 minutes against OKC. His last 4 against the Thunder, he's now averaging 9.8, 2.8, and 1.8 with a 71 offensive rating. Some of the worst splits you'll ever see. Negative 97 in 110 total minutes. So basically hemorrhaging a point per minute with Kyle Kuzma out there on the floor. Now, unless you're the Bucks are trying to win, they're trying to at least like showcase for Giannis that they can put some good guys around him. So I don't think Kuzma plays very much if he's continuing to hemorrhage points against OKC, which is number 1 limiting all fantasy points to small forwards. There's an outside chance Ryan Rollins plays. He's dealing with plantar fasciitis, which doesn't necessarily keep you on the shelf indefinitely. And KPJ and Cam Thomas, I mean, yeah, I said the eruption is a fluke, but I think he's going to continue to soak up more usage. I could see Bobby Portis playing more, trying to bully OKC a little bit more down low with those big lineups, maybe some more Pete Nance. Like, if you're Doc Rivers, you don't have to lean on Kuzma. I mean, he's not a guy who is dependable, especially not in this matchup.
No, he had a rip-roaring start against Orlando yesterday and still just flopped towards the end there. I think he did sort of trickle over it there, but it took a really hot first half. Better defense coming in. Orlando's just not actually really in this sort of top 10 defenses conversation these days. So it's not as impressive to even get over against them. But this number does make sense for Kuz to the under. I would assume Cam Thomas does. I mean, Cam isn't really requiring assists, number 1, and he's not really going to be in a position to help Kuz get his if they're on the floor at the same time. And then who is going to be playing for Milwaukee fully? I don't know. It's a be careful kind of thing. But when you have this sort of chaos theory unders are going to be a little bit more conducive to the fact that you can't really control or project game flow or theory very, very accurately. But I still think that the RA is going to be there for KPJ. So I think what we're seeing is like Rollins out, Bobby Portis relegated to like, not even 15 minutes at this point. Not sure how much he's going to go if he does. Does seem like some Jericho Sims time. Like there's going to just be a lot of guys out there that maybe haven't been household names during the first part of the season for Milwaukee. And KBJ is just like the dude that Doc is like, just go out there and just take all the usage, just do everything for me, please. Had a nice triple double last night. Not really like he's like going fast, not like he's really like pushing the pace a ton. So I'm not too worried about the minutes that he played last night against Orlando and their win. I still think he hasn't played much this season. So like, I think 35, 36 minutes is in his wheelhouse, and I'm really just playing a huge volume play for him. Things are kind of kept a little bit low because for him today after a triple double, because they're playing OKC, it's a back-to-back. We're not sure about much. This is the only place that I thought I felt comfortable with an over for anybody on Milwaukee. And then I guess if you feel like comfortable that Cam is going to play like 25 to 30 minutes, 18 and a half still doesn't really scare me. It's just this defense is pretty good at locking up small guards. So I don't know if I'd be in a rush to bet on him either.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only guy out here. If Rollins doesn't go, it's just going to be the KPJ show, and he's very talented. Yeah, we'll see if he can make it happen against a team that's really good, limiting the primary ball handler. But with enough usage, yeah, you can pile up stats.
Yeah, just the RA a little bit more. So that is all the time we have for you in this one. Definitely make sure to subscribe to that channel. Going to have that All-Star episode out for you a bit later today, or probably Friday morning is when we'll be able to get it out to you. But it will be up for everything you need for All-Star. So until we see you next, happy betting.